What message is coming through for you in this 1111 portal? Stay tuned. I'm going to make sure that I am live in all the places. As you hop on, let me know if you can see and hear me. Let me know if you have a specific practice and ritual that you love to do for this very special window of opportunity for manifesting, for aligning with your heart and the dreams that you wish to create. So let's see, one last place. It's always interesting. Why I love doing this live is because we get a chance to interact and have a conversation and come together in community. That is a big piece of manifesting, of stepping into a particular vibe or frequency that enables you to call in, to magnetize the life of your dreams. Why? Because it's like that old saying, you are the company you keep, so keep great company. Yay, Julie. Hello. Thanks for saying hi and letting me know that you are here. All righty. Yay. So I think I am live in all of the places. I'm going to go ahead and just invite you because today we've got a lot to talk about between the 1111 portal and everything else that's going on. I want to invite you to take a moment to just breathe, to know that you are in a safe space surrounded by beautiful, bright hearts who are all here as light workers who are making a difference in this world. Hello, Chrissy. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Hello, yay. Oh, I'm so glad the notifications worked. You never know. It's all about the algorithm. So, hey, by the way, if you are here, I am so thankful for your presence and for your willingness to do this deep healing work, as well as being a light and shining and offering hope to those around you, because hope is something that is so powerful and so necessary through all moments in life. But I truly feel now more than ever that for you, my beautiful, empathic, curious seekers who are here, who found this video, who are watching, we really need you. We need you to step into your gifts and talents, and it's time to shine. And we're here to lean on each other because it can be an interesting path when we choose to walk it. All right. And that's why I'm here, to help you with the sacred practices and tools that enable you to live the life you were born to live. Without further ado, hand on heart, tune into your energy. And as I say hello to all of the beautiful spirits, your hearts out there watching, all of your angels and guides, and the peace that passes all understanding. I'm just going to ask on your behalf, what's most important? What is the message you need to hear during this 1111 portal? All right, King of Wands. There's an innate strength within you. There is an intensity. There is a depth. There is a deep ability to focus and get the work done. You are a leader. You are charismatic. You are magnetic. Don't forget it. Wands energy is inspirational. They are the torchbearers. They bring the light. They hold the light so they can be the way showers for others. One important thing about this card to take note of is, just like the Wands energy can bring the light, that fire energy can also be consuming, and it can sometimes lead to burnout or to feeling at the end of our rope, like this feeling, this passion inside us boils over from passion and inspiration to anger or rage. So being able to have a container, a vision for your dream and where you're going is of the utmost importance. To know that just like the king or the queen of the jungle, that lion energy, we are looking out for our community. We're looking out for our tribe. We're coming together and we are leading into community. Hello, Hannah from Europe. So glad you're here. Thanks for finding us. Okay, so let's talk about some of the steps that you can take to align with this 1111 portal. I have 3 key steps to creating a powerful manifestation ritual that I want to share with you. But let's even back up and talk about, why is the number 11 important? Why is today important? And then we'll get into everything else. And by the way, if we haven't met, my name is Irina Miller. I'm a spiritual life guide, an energy alchemist, and astrologer. And it is my calling deep within my soul to guide empathic, curious seekers like yourself to the special and sacred practices and tools that enable you to live the life you were born. I love to guide you to them. I love to teach you them. I love to help create unique energy recipes just for you so that you know that you have something that is customized and personalized to help your spirit on this path. So it is my joy to be here and my honor. And if this is helpful, please, please do like, subscribe. It helps out so much getting this out to other people. And I feel like we need this work more than ever right now in this support. Okay, let's talk about the number 11 and numerology for a moment. I want you to picture the 11. You've got 2 ones. The number 11, with one of the astrology systems that I study, they say it represents the Virgo energy. And the reason that I love that is because Virgo energy is very analytical, it's very practical, and it knows when something's out of alignment. So for example, if you have any Virgo qualities yourself or you have Virgo friends, you might notice that when they're moving around the house, they're like, oh, this rug, I need to straighten it, or this picture on the wall. They can sense when things are just disorganized, and it grates on their system, on their energy. So they have to, this is their gift. They are compelled to align things in such a way that it feels more pleasant, that it feels in alignment. They can sense when one of those ones is out of order. Now, how does this help us? How does this come into today? Well, think about it a little bit like frequency. If you're in a situation, you go into a room and the vibe feels off a little, like one of those ones in the 11, it's just a little off, a little crooked. You're having a conversation with someone, you're watching something, you're hearing something, and deep down inside, your spidey senses go, something doesn't sit quite right. And so, I think because empathic intuitives are often, poo-pooed or gaslighted. Oh, you know what? It's all in your head. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Just busy yourself over there. Well, they're like the magician, sleight of hand, doing something behind your back. Intuitives know. Empaths know. The tricky part is trusting that intuitive knowing, the inkling, as I call it. And that's one of the things that the 1111 portal really emphasizes on a louder, more amplified level, is letting you know, not only being able to hear the clarity of the intuition coming in, but truly being able to trust it. Like, something's off here. What's off? So the ones in the 11 represent the integrity of alignment. Is this in my highest and best interest? It also represents the frequency. If I want to attract this one, if I want to create this thing in my life, am I lining up to match it, or am I off path a little bit? So for example, you might have a dream to have your own business. You might have a dream to retire early. You might have a dream to get out of debt. You might have a dream to find the best partner out there, to find and regain your health and your strength. But if you have, or you're on a path that isn't completely supporting that dream, or there's a lack of belief in the dream actually happening, it creates a wobble. And that wobble makes it difficult to attract that which you seek. So we are looking to really line ourselves up. That alignment comes from not only the mind, right? So the mental aspect. A lot of people love mindset, positive thinking, affirmations. Yes, those are wonderful, but the thoughts, the mindset is a result of what you're feeling and what you're believing. So what you're feeling and what you're believing create your thoughts. And if you just try to change your thoughts, and you don't go to the root of the feeling, of the belief, what happens is the thought might shift temporarily, and then it goes right back into the misalignment. So this ritual, or the 3 key steps that I'm sharing with you to help you with this manifestation ritual that we're going to work with today, the goal of it is to start to shift those underlying feelings a little bit, to start to get into the beliefs that might have been sabotaging you or holding you back. Because the thing about the 1111 portal is that it is a day to experience heightened intuition, to manifest with greater ease. Why? Because we, number one, can feel when the vibration is off, when that other one is kind of wonky or wobbly. It also enables you to connect with community on a higher level because there's the 2. It's not just one, singular one. This is about really lining up with your heart, being true to your heart, not doing something that somebody else says, oh, I think this is in your highest and best interest, or you know what would be good for you? That's great. We can take in their opinion, we can listen, but then sit with it and practice that discernment. So let's talk about the 3 key steps to creating a really beautiful and wonderful manifestation ritual. I call it Ready, Set, Go. I love creating these little acronyms or using existing acronyms or phrases because part of the reason is we want to talk to the subconscious, because that's where a lot of those beliefs and feelings are hiding that trip us up when we're trying to manifest. Or I really love thinking of it as co-creation, because co-creating, I feel, better encompasses what we are doing. We are saying, okay, God, universe, I've had this dream placed in my heart that I truly believe that is not there by accident, that you helped nurture and grow within my heart. And I want to make this into a reality. Can you help me? What steps do I need to take? It's a dance with the divine when you are co-creating. That's manifesting. Manifesting is not just sitting there going, humana, 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 dollar bills are raining down from the ceiling. Manifesting takes action on our part. We have to acknowledge the dream within us. We have to tune into that desire, right? So you think about the sky, that's desire. There's a want deep down inside. We have to truly desire and want it so we can tap into the feeling. If we're lukewarm about it, it's not going to happen. If we don't believe it, if we're not passionate about it, it's going to fall flat. So we tune into that desire, and then we recognize it's not all about us. We're not trying to come in and independently force it into being. We're not just a singular one. We are two. We're coming together, one and one. Wherever 2 or more of you are gathered in my name, I will be there. So God Universe is giving us those guidance messages, those intuitive hints, those inklings, and stirring the desire within our heart. Act now. The moment is right. The time is right. The portal is opening. Can you feel the energy shifting? And as you tune into that, you acknowledge within your own heart, yes, I do have a deep desire and dream, and I am willing to take action steps. We say, okay, God Universe, what is my next best step? And we tune in and we listen and we receive. And then we take a little action step. And then we tune in and we receive. In the yoga world, we call this Spanda. It's a game of expansion and contraction. And when we expand and we open to the guidance and we receive it, and we come into this little contraction and we discern it and we digest it, and then we go back out. And so it is really about a pulsation. So 1111, this incredible portal and gateway, is here to help you tune into your intuitive inner knowing, your gut instincts. It is here to help you truly trust what you're picking up on, because you can feel when those vibes are off. Your gut, where that intuitive knowledge comes in often, that is letting you know. You might feel it on a physical level. You might just hear something that rings true. You might feel something deep in your bones. You might see something that shifts your entire understanding. And as a result, your world is opening, opportunities and doorways open. So with this 3 key steps, ready, set, go. The first part, the ready. What does that mean? Ready yourself. Get your space in order. Whenever you're trying to create something, and this is a good Virgo trait, by the way, people with Virgo tendencies, I'm looking around my desk because it's still a little messy. I've been working this morning and, I've got all my books out and my papers, but a Virgo would come in and say, oh my God, how can you even think with this mess? When we care about something deeply, let's say a friend or a loved one's coming for a holiday, you clean up your space. It's a sign of honor. It's a sign of respect. So you clean up your space physically, put away the clutter, you sweep up the dust bunnies, maybe vacuum. Find a space in your home that you can kind of get away and just have a moment to yourself, a corner of your home. So you ready yourself. As you ready yourself, the other thing that I love to do is clear the energy in the space. It can be done, of course, with smudging or sage. Because there's always sensitivities with smells, I like to use sound. And you can use something like Tingsha bells, where you clear the energy in the room. And if for some reason the bells don't ring clear, that's a sign that the energy's off. So you keep dinging them until you get that clear sound. Another one that I love for clearing the energy in the room is the tuning forks. And I'll make sure there's links to these in the description if you're curious where I picked them up. But tuning fork, this is the angelic tuning fork, which is great for clearing energy. Clear the energy in your space, clear it around you. Let's say you want something else. I have this wonderful Paolo Santo smudge spray that I got from a friend. And you can just, and I'm doing this for all of you as well. We're clearing the energy and the space for you. Oh, it smells so pretty. I'm going to try to send it smell-o-vision to you, smelling that Palo Santo. So you ready yourself. In the yoga traditions, my teacher would say, take your seat. And when we take our seat, it's us preparing to receive the teachings, right? It encompasses so much, take your seat. Usually we're sitting. So why even that comment? Well, it's because we can be distracted. You know, we're multitasking. We're looking at our phone while we're listening to this, or we're reading, or we're talking, or we're driving, or we're eating. Become present to receive the teachings, to hear the guidance. You know, if you're trying to have a conversation with someone and you're also looking at your phone, messaging someone back, or if you are trying to watch something, or like, isn't that interesting? I just got distracted because my phone lit up. Right? So many distractions around us. And when we have those distractions, we get pulled out of the present moment and we're not as present and we can't hear the guidance as easily. So you're clearing your space from the distractions, the clutter and the dirt. You're getting away from the noise in the household. Find a quiet little corner, go outside. It's beautiful. And you're in a space where you are ready to receive the information. Now set. That's the second part. Set your intentions. Write them down physically. There is power in writing things down. That's why I created the Inside of the Moon journal, because I take time each week to write things down. I write down how I'm feeling. I pull a card for the day. I write down my intentions. What is it that I wish to accomplish that day? There is something incredibly powerful that has been tested and proven that when we write things down, they more readily come into physical experience than when we just keep it in our head. We can process so much more easily as well. So write down in your intentions or write down your wishes. What are your dreams? What do you wish to co-create on the sacred 1111 portal? What do you wish to call in and magnetize? Write it down. And then as you write it down, pause for a moment. Imagine and visualize it on all levels, the mental level, the physical level, the emotional level. Feel as if it has already come into being. What would it be like not to have to worry and stress about the next bill, or feel what it would be like to cuddle up next to that special someone in the middle of the night? Feel what it would be like to be energized when you wake up in the morning, strong enough to pick up that bag of dog food. They seem to get heavier every time I buy the next one. So it is very, very incredible what happens when we not only visualize it on a detailed level, be specific with the 1111 portal. You know, this is something that when it comes to manifesting and co-creating, sometimes we want to be a little on the broad side and say, okay, God, universe, bring this or something better into my life, because sometimes we just can't dream big enough. And then there are other times where one of my earliest manifesting stories, and this is funny. Oh, Julie, that's funny. Your phone just dinged too. Isn't that amazing how the distractions popped up? one of the things that came early on with my manifesting practice, this goes back to my teenage years. I've always been fascinated with the Pacific Northwest. And I thought one of these days, and I grew up on the East Coast, I was like, oh, I'm going to manifest living. I don't know why I said the Northwest Territory. I was being kind of cheeky and trying to be funny. Like, I'm going to live in the Northwest Territory, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, I ended up in the Midwest in Ohio. And my dad, who is a historian major, and he said to me, Irina, you did end up in the Northwest Territory. That was considered back in the day, Northwest Territory. It's like, oh no, Pacific Northwest. I needed to be specific. So it's kind of funny, right? So just be mindful. I'm going to encourage you when you are setting your intentions, when you're writing down your wishes, take a moment to be specific and then listen for that guidance. We have ready yourself, clear your space, set, write down those intentions, imagine, visualize, feel your desire on all levels, your dream, and then go. The guidance that you receive, take some kind of little action on it. Offer gratitude. Thank you, universe, for sending me an insight, desire, an impulse. Thank you. I'm so grateful for all of the abundance and blessings that you've already brought into my life. And I am giving thanks for all the unknown blessings coming my way already too. Because when we go into that space of gratitude, we are shifting out of a poverty, lack mindset into one of abundance. We're looking around our life and we're noticing the things that are already blessing us, how rich and blessed we truly, truly are. And that can make all the difference. So ready, set, go. And that is one of the best ways to create a very strong foundation for a successful manifesting ritual. Now, if you wanted to elaborate with that, my Moon Club members, and if you're not in Moon Club yet, then I would encourage you, check it out. I'll make sure I put, I clicked the wrong thing. I'll make sure I put the link up on the screen so you can check that out. But Moon Club is a place where we go deeper into the sacred practices and rituals aligning with the new and the full moon. But in Moon Club, we're going to talk a little bit about making a sacred crystal grid where we can tap into this energy that's available to us, as well as meditative practices. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to just make sure that shows up on the screen for a moment. My beautiful friends, let's talk about the week ahead and what to expect with this upcoming week following the pathway of the moon, because we have a full supermoon on Friday, November 15th, in the energy of Taurus, which is about abundance and prosperity and tuning into our values and developing those relationships that are in our highest and best interest. So let's pull a card for this week. We talked about the energy of the 1111 message and Julia, specificity. I'm always so blown away of how that happens. All right, make sure. Hello, Sarah. Glad you're here. And hello, Eleanor. Glad to have you from across the pond. Okay, so what message do you need to hear in this upcoming week ahead? Five of Swords. I know a lot of people are anxious and worried, and there's a lot of chatter going on, and our mind is just going. And this is one of those cards that says, we can keep fighting and we can keep fighting, because this is a point where you try to win, but it comes at such a cost. You say, is it worth it? This is a moment where you acknowledge that your mental health, your wellness really can benefit from pausing, putting down the sword, and breathing, and to really tune in. How do we want to show up? It's kind of like the lose the battle to win the war energy is how it reminds me. And with everything that's been going on, something that I want to encourage you, part of this is a divisiveness. The birds here, the crows, they represent that mental mind chatter. The yogis call it chittavrittis. And that's what drives us bonkers. Our mind is constantly racing. I can't meditate. My mind won't slow down. Of course, that makes sense. There's many different ways to meditate, by the way, not just sitting with your eyes closed. But what this card is representing and saying is that breathe, ground, because when you are grounded, when you are present, you can more easily discern what is truth and where to most where the best place is to focus your energies to make the biggest difference. So I want to encourage you, look in your life. Where have you been pushing and fighting and hoping and pushing and and the mind is racing? Take a moment to pause, regroup, ground, and reassess where are your energies best invested and spent. We're getting ready for Mercury retrograde. We're already being affected by it a little bit. And this Mercury retrograde is retrograding back through the sign of Sagittarius, which is about our beliefs. So this is a moment we're saying we're reassessing, what have I been pouring my energy into when it comes to my beliefs? Are these beliefs still supporting me, or do they need to be brought into current time? All right. So with that being said, the energy of this week as we are going towards the full moon, the moon is building, it's getting brighter, so the energy is getting bigger. Full moons can often make it more challenging to sleep for those who are moon sensitive and aware when the moon changes zodiac signs, and not everyone is. Some people are more than others. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine. My moon's in Cancer, so I am super sensitive to what the moon's doing. Her moon's in Capricorn, and she's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, to me, I'm, I can look up and see a beautiful moon, but I'm not really feeling affected by it. I'm not feeling the desire to tune in every single day. And Capricorn moon, is the polar opposite. It's a beautiful complementary energy. If you think two sides of the same coin, the Capricorn is the other side to the Cancer. So if the Cancer is on the one extreme side of sensitivity, the Capricorn is going to be on the other. So we're all looking for that pathway of the middle. And what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you just to take note. That's, again, why I created this. You just write down, and if you're interested about the journal, it's definitely in the links, but you take note. Where is the moon? How am I feeling? What's my mood? You pull a card for the day. How can I make the most of this energy? Or what do I need to know? And I'm going to walk you through all of that right now. So without further ado, let's talk about Monday, when the moon is in Pisces. What can you do to make, well, actually, I'm going to ask it this way. I'm going to ask, what's the most important thing that you know about Monday's energy? Okay, Two of Pentacles. It is about balancing. It is about taking time to look at the budget, taking time to look at the way your resources, that can be time, energy, possessions, money, anything that's physical and tangible or of value. How are you spending it? Is it in harmony? Is it in balance? Or are you in a deficit somewhere? Maybe you've been burning the candles at all end, that wands, the King of Wands card, and you've been trying to do so much for so many and just feeling like I have no more energy left, I have nothing left to give. Are things in divine right balance? Take a time to reassess, because the Pisces moon, Pisces energy, they love to help, and they can help so much that they forget about themselves and they end up feeling very much like a martyr and unappreciated. And they go into a space of resentment, like I'm always there for everyone else. Where are people when I need them? They're sensitive, very, very empathic souls, and they feel so deeply. I feel like their still waters run deep because they seem very calm and cool and collected when you're talking to the Pisces energy. And we don't always see or sense that tumultuous shifting of like the oceanic energy within them. So sometimes we can be a little bit melancholy. Sometimes we can feel like I've given so much of myself, my values, my possessions, my time, my energy into this area. Have I received the return? So take a moment to assess. All right, Tuesday's energy. So as we tune into Tuesday, the moon moves into Aries. What's most important that you know about Tuesday's energy? Queen of Pentacles. So when you take the time to really look at the details, and I know sometimes it can be scary to sit down with like numbers or details, whether that's looking at a scale or looking at a bank account or looking at, just your hours that you're working during the week and maybe, what you're getting in return. By doing that, you really recognize how incredibly blessed and wealthy you are. The Queen of Pentacles is in charge of her resources. She is relaxed and at ease. Think about the Five of Swords that popped up at the beginning of the week, all that worry. Like when we don't have the data, we can really stress. We can really go into, because we're just trying to drive in the blind. You know, it's like, think about just going to the grocery store without your shopping list. And you're like, oh, I wanted to make that recipe, but I don't know. Do I need this? Do I need that? And we're just feeling anxious, running around the store, trying to remember everything. Whereas if we had written it down and we went with the data, we wouldn't be as concerned. We know. So data can inform to a certain extent. So take a moment to just balance your energies on Monday, your resources, so that you can know just how blessed and wealthy you are. Aries is an energy that is very much stepping into power and into leadership and saying, I can do this. So tap into that strength on Tuesday. Wednesday, moon is still in Aries. What's most important that you need to know about Wednesday's energy? Justice. I love it. Justice is about balance. A lot of this week keeps coming back to balance. And look at that. There's the 11. Can you see the 11 right here in the card? Be in integrity with your heart. I love this card because her reflection, her eyes are open. Deep down inside, she knows what's important to her. She's not compromising who she is to get ahead or to make other people happy or to fit in or blend in. She knows who she is and she's at peace with it. Go back to harmony, go back to balance. That Aries moon is going to give you the courage to stick to your values, to stay in integrity with who you are. And then as we move into Thursday's energy, moon is in Taurus. We're just going to ask what's most important that you need to know about Thursday's energy. It's about community. If you try to go it alone, you're not going to get very far. And it's going to be hard because, there's a wonderful song. Ben Platt, I think is the name of the artist who sings it, who basically says in the song, I have to remember the name of the song, but when you're feeling low, I'm there to pick you up. And when I'm feeling low, I know you're there to pick me up. Because it's hard to be the bright one all the time. It's hard to be the one who's always optimistic and tuned into the hope and everything's love, light, and happiness. It's not. There is darkness. And it's not that darkness is bad and light is good. There is incredible depth of potential and growth available in the dark. And a lot of people are afraid of the dark. And what I learned when I went through the priestess process is all of that deep potential. It's a very shamanistic training I went through. The potential that is available to us. Think of the baby in the womb. They're in the dark. They gestate and grow. Think of the tulip bulb in the earth all winter. It is growing and gathering nutrients from Mother Earth so it can blossom into a beautiful, big, bright red tulip in the spring. We need community. We're not meant to do this alone. We lean on each other, and that's why I love having the space available. Thank you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you. So the moon in Taurus is about taking this time and looking at the beauty and the richness of surrounding yourself with the things that light you up. People, the food, the special treasures that you have in your home. Surround yourself with the things that lift your spirit. That's why I love the crystals, So for example, like the rose quartz crystal that I have here, and we're working with Moon Club Yellow Citrine this month. The thing about it is that the power isn't in the crystal. It's a reminder of a frequency or vibe that when I hold it, when I touch it, when I look at it, it just reminds me, I love that Sarah McLachlan song, the sound that love makes. This is the sound or the frequency that love makes. It's one way to tune into it when I've lost my way or I'm feeling sad. Yellow citrine, tune into my courage, my belief, and my confidence in myself. It reminds me, do I need the crystal to tap into it? No. But if I'm having a tough day and I need a reminder, this is great. It's like the story of Hanuman, and we'll get into that another day, but the importance of community. Okay, so Friday. Friday moon is still in Taurus. What's most important that you need to know? Queen of Wands. So just like we kick off the week, or we kick off the 11/11 portal with the King of Wands, here's the beautiful counterpart, the feminine energy of the Queen of Wands. She is an entrepreneur. She is spark. Look at the light she's bringing. She carries that light in the palm of her hand, and she's able to light all these other candles around her. So, you talk about how much in a dark room, one little candle flame can illuminate. You talk about the ability of bringing that inspiration and that light and touching one other person. One little spark can light up tens of thousands of other candles of inspiration. I was hearing a beautiful quote that it says that, it's just a multitude of tiny little drops that can create a tsunami. And even though you might feel like you're just one person, you can make an immense difference. How? Tune into your light and start to pass that light on. That was really beautiful. Thank you, angels. So Friday, that Taurus energy. And part of what lights us up is feeling also physically like we're in beauty and harmony. So maybe Friday you feel like dressing up or, putting on something special or dancing to good music or making yourself a delicious meal. Allow yourself that moment to indulge, because that happiness you experience from enjoying yourself will be infectious and contagious and inspire others. And Julie said, yeah, it reminds you of the song Lean on Me. Exactly. Oh, I love that, especially the a cappella versions. Oh my goodness. Oh, a card popped out. Beautiful Fool energy. She just popped out of the deck as I was shuffling it. So I'm going to just hold on to her. But this is about knowing there's a bigger plan at work. And here's what I want to say too. A lot of the cards that I pulled leading up to the energy, especially with everything that shifted in the US last week, and different things that came to be, and how many people are happy and how many people are upset and hurt. What I want to let you know is that a lot of the energy that was coming up that I tuned into, there is opportunity for incredible growth and positivity to come out of this moment in time. There's a bigger plan at work. If we fall into the fighting, like that Five of Swords, like I'm going to just keep fighting, at what cost? Where do we need to focus our energy and our resources in order to affect a beautiful, uplifting shift that is beneficial for all beings? Really, when it comes down to it, it's love, because there's a divisiveness that wants to separate. And when we separate out and when we create misinformation, what happens is we turn against each other. And when we turn against each other, those that are manipulating or those who want to be in power can, again, it's that sleight of hand just off to the side doing something. Stay present, stay grounded, come together in community, and stay anchored in love and hope so that you can be aware of what's going on. It's not an easy time, and it's not meant to be an easy time. If you're here on the planet at this moment in time, you incarnated for a reason. And this is something that I truly believe. Ground and really tune in and see if this resonates as truth for you. It might not, and that's okay. Part of what I truly feel is that if we are here on the planet at this time, we, to a certain degree, up in heaven before we came down, when we were making our little life plan, sitting around the conference room table with our angels, our guides, and kind of putting it in, saying, okay, God, I'm willing to be, go down there and bring light. I'm willing to bring love. I'm willing to lift other people up. I'm willing to help during this challenging time. When you talk about the indigo children and the rainbow children and the crystal children, a lot of these energetic beings that came in during those times, if you consider yourself, an indigo child, conversation for another time, let me know if you know about that and what that means. We were the answers to the prayers of the generations before us. So like during World War II, when there was so much strife going on and people were praying, dear God, we need help, we need help, we need help. Things are just horrific down here. Please, please help. A wave of energetic beings came in as an answer to that prayer. And they were born in the 70s. And then as you're going through the 70s and the Vietnam War, God, we need help. Please, please, please send in the help. Send in the angels. Send in the light workers. The next wave of energy came in the 80s and the 90s. We're not alone. Your prayers are always heard and always answered. Your prayers are always answered. I believe in that 100%. Sometimes it's about timing. Sometimes it's a not now. And sometimes it's hard to hear that. So we feel like they're not being answered. But they are always answered. And you'll never be left. It's us that does the leaving from the light. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling adrift, ground and tune back in to God, universe, and to source. All right, I'll get off my little ranting soapbox. Holy cannoli. I've been holding it in. Okay, so Saturday, moon is in Gemini. So what's most important that you need to know about moon in Gemini? Here comes the sun. I love this. Holy cannoli. So George Harrison, I read an autobiography of his years and years and years ago, many, many moons ago. And the thing about it is whenever it pops on the radio, it always gives me hope. But here comes the sun, little darling. Listen to the lyrics of this song. When he wrote this song, George Harrison, he was trying to raise funds for something that was very important and near and dear to his heart, that was going to bring light and hope and love to this world. And it was a struggle. And he knew it was going to take a long time and it was going to be hard work, but he was willing to do it. He knew that the sun was coming. Ah, that's beautiful. I love it. So tune into the music. You know, the Beatles are amazing for lifting and shifting the energy and your spirit and tuning into hope. So it is there. Have that hope. Lean into the community, into the artists who have been the light showers and the way showers. And Gemini moon, Gemini is about, it can be information overload. So be careful that you're not taking just anything and everything in, but you're grounded and you're mindfully choosing what to engage in. Okay, Sunday, the moon in Gemini. What's most important that you need to know about this moon in Gemini? Bum, bum, bum. The Empress. All in good time. All in good time. We can't rush the gestation cycle of the little baby in the womb. She's going to grow and move, and he's going to grow and move in his own way. If we try to rush the baby into existence in a week or 2 months, it's too soon. But there are the cycles of the moon, there's the turning of the earth, the seasons. Something is growing deep within you, and there will be a moment in time when it will be birthed. Don't give up. Do your practice, and all is coming, as Patanjali Joyce, or as Patabi Joyce would say. Patanjali, isn't that interesting that I said that? Anyway, as Patabi Joyce would say, do your practice, and all is coming. And what's your practice? Ground. And if you don't have a grounding practice, I'm going to put this in the comments. I've got a grounding practice right here. It is 2 minutes long. It's an audio. It's short, it's sweet. You can download it. I'm going to show it. Just irenamiller.co/get-calm. It's going to help you. It's going to help clear your space. Ground. Because when you ground, you're going to be able to have the fortitude to continue showing up day after day. And then the second part of that is lean into community. All right. So that is the energy for this week. And I didn't even get a chance to talk about the full moon. Let's just pause for a second. I was so on my little soapbox rant. Friday, the full moon, November 15th. It is a supermoon. What does a supermoon mean? See, there's so much to talk about today. Supermoon is just the moon being physically close to the earth. And it's at one of its closest points in its little revolution around or orbit around the earth. And so as it gets in close to us, it looks big on the horizon and it's more amplified in its effect on us. So you might feel a little bit more of the intensity of the moon that it represents. And this full moon is happening in Taurus. And Taurus is about your values. It is about your money. It's about your resources. It's about your relationships. What brings you physical joy and happiness in this world. And Uranus, the planet of surprises, Eureka, shaking things up, is sitting right next to that moon. So there is a shakeup, there's a revelation, there's certain information that's bubbling up to the surface. And then throw in good old Venus, who rules the beautiful Taurus energy. She is at what's called the bending of the nodes. What that means in Astro Geek speak is that this is a fated moment when it comes to relationships. It is a fated moment when it comes to what you're tuning into with your integrity, your values, how you are seeing the gifts that you are bringing into this world, into your confidence, into your esteem. Something is shaking up and shifting within your world around those things. There's a new awareness that is coming to the surface. And if you want to know more specifically about that full moon, come into the Moon Club, irenamiller.co/club. And I'll see if I can pop that right back up on the screen so that you can see that as well. But we're going to have the full moon ritual and masterclass in the club this Friday. And then also, in addition to that, be talking about each zodiac sign, how it's affecting you. All right. Have an incredible day. Thank you for being here. If this has been helpful, please do share it with a friend. Pass the light on like the little candle. And I look forward to seeing you next week. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Mwah. Much love. Bye, guys.